Welcome back. In this part of the training, we're going to link Seervision and Q-SYS together, which means giving Seervision direct control over our Q-SYS cameras and using the Seervision plugin inside Q-SYS. We're going to start off in Q-SYS Designer. For our first example, we're just going to need one camera. So I'm going to create a basic Q-SYS design with an NC1280, a MediaCast router, and I'm going to wire that into the USB bridge on my core. Now let's return to the Seervision user interface. Take a look at the menu bar at the top of the page. You can see there we have a /1 and a /2 after the server's IP address. That's because this is a 2-channel server, and those two buttons let you access the 2 separate instances of the Seervision software. For now, we just want to configure the first instance, so let's press /1 now. The first thing we need to do is connect our camera to Seervision so it can receive the stream and control the camera. That's done in the operations server. Click here to access it. Now, in the operations server, we have settings for network, licensing, and our camera connections. We're going to focus on the PTU configuration section for now. But what does PTU stand for? It's actually Penguin Transportation Unit. Not really. PTU stands for Pan Tilt Unit, and it comes from Seervision's broadcast background, where you might be using cameras that have a separate Pan Tilt Unit to the camera itself. Now, of course, we're using Q-SYS NC series cameras, and we can select that as the PTU right here. Of course, we need to enter the camera's IP address, which you can find in Q-SYS Configurator if you're not sure what it is. It might be a good idea to set this to a static address in Peripheral Manager, just in case you're working on a DHCP network and the camera's IP address changes after a reboot. Next, we're going to tell Seervision the camera and the lens that's attached to the PTU. Of course, this is the same in a conferencing camera where everything's integrated, so choose Q-SYS as the model and Q-SYS NC1280 or 20x60 as the lens. Lastly, we can invert the pan and the tilt for ceiling mounted cameras, and we can add pan and tilt limits if desired. When you're ready, just click Apply. Now, before we leave the operations server, we might want to adjust the IP settings. The Q-SYS plugin is going to be connecting to the server via its IP address, so it might be a good idea to set this to a static address if you're on a DHCP network. When you're ready, just click on the arrow in the top left to go back to the main user interface. Next, we need to link our camera stream to the Seervision server, as well as the PTU control that we've just configured. Before we do this, I'm going to make sure that my NC camera's IP streaming settings are set to multicast only. This just means that the camera only has to generate one stream for all of the destinations in Q-SYS and the new Seervision destination. Back in Seervision, we're going to add the camera stream as a video input. To do this, click on the video input button and click Add RTSP URL. The URL will be rtsp:// your camera's IP address /main. Click Add, then select the new video source under the video input menu. And now we have our Q-SYS camera stream inside Seervision. So that's Seervision controlling our camera, but we still need to link the Seervision plugin to the server. Let's take a look. We're going to add the Seervision plugin, which you can download from the Q-SYS Designer Asset Manager. When you've added it to your schematic, let's take a look at the properties. Here we can change the number of tracking cameras, static cameras, and conductor cameras, as well as change the number of zones we're working with. Right now we just have one tracking camera, so I've set up the properties accordingly. Once you've set the properties, let's save the design to the core. When the design's running, open up the plugin. Now, on this setup page, we can enter a Seervision server IP address and choose instance 1 or 2 for each of our Seervision controlled cameras. This will allow the plugin to receive trigger events from those instances and to recall containers to allow for different types of tracking. There we go, we've entered the server's IP address, we've selected the right instance, and it looks like we're connected. Great, so that's everything connected, and we're ready to set up basic tracking, which we'll do in the next video. See you there.